The information provided herein is intended for educational and informational purposes only. It is not meant to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. The products described are all dietary supplements, which have been formulated to support overall wellness and not intended to replace professional medical advice or treatment. As a standard practice, customers are encouraged to consult with their healthcare professional before starting any supplement regimen, especially if they have underlying health conditions or are taking medications. Well, hello and welcome. Today we're going to talk about, two carefully thought out and put together formulations that we're adding to Buried Treasure's already best-selling ACF family of products, namely ACF PM Immune and Sleep Support, also Extra Strength ACF PM Immune and Sleep Support plus Melatonin. We'll also be sharing info on a new addition to the Wellness Drops family. It's a 100% botanical formulation that's designed to support lymphatic function and immune health. It's called Lymphatic Harmony, and so we'll speak to that as well. We'll share the rationale for each of the formulations. Essentially, what problem is it attempting to address? Secondly, the specific ingredients and why they were chosen. And lastly, what overall benefits the consumer can expect to experience and how to speak to those in a DSHEA-compliant manner. So let's talk about the immune system. It is a marvel of biological engineering. It's constantly working for us to defend us against outside invaders. These could be pathogens like bacteria, viruses, fungi. Could be chemical toxins like pesticides and industrial pollutants. It can even be pollen, animal dander, allergy-producing foods like dairy and peanuts. So in these instances, our immune system identifies signaling proteins on those substances. They're called antigens. And that identifies that substance as a threat. It says, I don't like what I see, and you're a threat to me. So the cells, tissues, and organs of the immune system, they all come together. They have a chat, and they say, well, look, we don't like what's going on here. We don't recognize these outsiders as self. In other words, friendly. We need to call up our first responders from the innate immune system. Those would be like the white blood cells, the macrophages, the neutrophils, so they can halt and minimize the damage that these outside invaders might want to do to us. So our immune system is actually two immune systems in one. The first is the innate immune system, which is inherited. It's been with us since we were born. It has a non-specific response to outside invaders, meaning when it encounters something that it deems a threat, it will initiate biological processes like sneezing, coughing, increased mucus production, in some cases inflammation, as an early defense against that invader. So at this point, it doesn't quite know who or what it's fighting against. It just knows that the alarm is sounded and it needs to mount a defense ASAP, right away. Sort of lay down suppressive fire to contain the invasion until the heavy artillery, the adaptive immune system, kicks in, gathers its troops, and joins the battle. Now, when the adaptive immune system kicks in, it makes specialized proteins, these are called antibodies, that provide valuable intel by identifying who or what that invader is, so it can tailor a more targeted response. Now, our adaptive immune system has a long memory. It remembers this antigen and how to best to deal with it. So if it comes up in the future, like if it faced again in the future, it says, I know who you are and I know the best way to deal with you. So both the innate and adaptive immune systems are needed for proper immune function, and unfortunately, both are also negatively impacted by poor and/or ineffective sleep. A March 2022 National Heart, Lung, and Blood Institute article published in the National Institutes of Health NIH.gov website talked about sleep deprivation, not getting enough sleep, or sleep deficiency, sleeping at the wrong time of the day, disrupting the function of certain immune cells that are responsible for secreting cytokines. Cytokines are a group of signaling proteins that mediate or bring about and regulate or control and maintain certain immune responses. These responses include things like activating and or suppressing immune activity, inflammatory response, and hematopoiesis, which is the production of blood cells, including white blood cells responsible for fighting infection. So during sleep, our immune system both makes and releases these protective cytokines. Studies suggest that people who don't get quality sleep regularly are more likely to get sick after being exposed to rhinovirus. That's the virus that causes the common cold. Those same individuals took longer to get over the common cold because of their sleep deprivation and deficiency. So as you can see, sleep is not only important for lowering the risk of certain conditions like depression and anxiety and lack of energy, it's actually crucial for fortifying and maintaining a well-functioning immune system. So let's talk about the ACF PM Immune and Sleep Support Formula. It's actually an augmented version of the original ACF 14-in-1 formulation, but it also has the added benefit of supporting relaxation and restful sleep. That's an added benefit. The immune supportive ingredients in ACF PM are the same as the original ACF, just in decreased amounts. You're familiar with these. They include vitamin C, zinc gluconate, bioflavonoids. These are a great 1-2-3 combination to support healthy levels of histamine, proper immune functioning of both the innate and adaptive immune systems, and promote a balance of healthy gut bacteria. And as we know, the GI tract is where 70 to 80% of all immune cells reside. So these are the immune supportive botanicals, all in descending order. First off, elderberry, or Sambucus nigra as it's traditionally known, contains anthocyanins, flavonoids like quercetin. Both support macrophage activity. These macrophages are like little Pac-Man, these cells that devour pathogenic microbes that threaten the body. There's white willow bark. Now this is interesting because it contains 60 milligrams of salicin, which the body then converts into something called salicylic acid, which has been shown to possess analgesic properties. Also helps to regulate temperature in the body. Most of us are familiar with the synthetic chemical cousin to this called acetyl salicylic acid, also known as aspirin. There's a unique herb called elecampane root. It contains flavonoids and other antioxidants that help soothe and protect mucous membranes in the respiratory tract. There's also the tried and true Echinacea purpurea. Echinacea has been shown to boost immune function while shortening the duration of symptoms from immune challenges. It's thought to do this by helping to modulate cytokine activity. There is Oregon grapefruit. This is native to the indigenous peoples of the Pacific Northwest, also used in traditional Chinese medicine, supports balance of the immune system, helps manage a healthy inflammatory response as well. There is ginger root extract, contains immune-modulating antioxidants. These are the gingerols and the shogols, shown to help lessen muscle fatigue while delivering soothing comfort for sore throat issues. There's myrrh. Myrrh is this like sap-like resin, like a gum, containing terpenes. These terpenes are unique aromatic antioxidant compounds that both support the innate and also adaptive immune functions. There's Usnea lichen. This is a really powerful immune tonic dating back to the days of Hippocrates, the father of modern medicine. It's a combination of both fungi and algae, and it supports respiratory health. Then there is thyme. This botanical belongs to the mint family, contains terpenes like thymol. It also has flavonoids like apigenin and quercetin. Additionally, it has vitamin C and manganese, all of which help defend the body and provide soothing relief to the respiratory system. And to round out the immune supportive ingredients, we included purified atomic silver. Now, atomic is the naturally occurring, more stable form of silver versus ionic silver. Its extremely small nanoparticle size is more effective and easier to excrete from the body, typically like within 4 to 8 hours, so there's no concern of toxicity. The sleep restorative blend, well, this includes, in descending order, hops, which have a long traditional use in Native American medicine as a sedative. In Ayurveda, it's used for restlessness, and in traditional Chinese medicine, it's used for sleeplessness. Strong evidence suggests it has a modulating effect in and around the brain's GABA receptors. It also seems to positively influence CB2 receptors in the endocannabinoid system. Both of these receptors help promote relaxation. And then there's chamomile, widely used in traditional herbal medicine for its calming properties, in homeopathy to soothe irritability, and according to a 2019 Journal of Clinical Pharmacology article, it has anxiolytic properties, meaning that it's ideal for times of stress and anxiety. And then there's passion flower. It's got some key active compounds, alkaloids and flavonoids. It seems to benefit a system in the body called the hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis. I know, that's a mouthful, but it's more commonly known as the HPA axis. So this HPA axis is the body's central response system, linking the brain to the endocrine system. Think of this as the thermostat in your home, right? If it's too hot, it'll turn the AC on, and if it's too cold, it'll turn the heat on. So in this case, what the HPA axis does, it manages the body's response to stress by regulating the release of cortisol. And so as we know, chronic stress and sleep deprivation can actually overactivate this system, leading to higher than normal cortisol levels. And of course, that's not good because that will then downregulate immune function. In the case of passion flower, it helps to increase levels of gamma-aminobutyric acid. That's GABA. So this lowers cortisol and signals to the HPA axis, hey, it's time to stand down. Take a break. All is good. Time for the body to rest and relax now. There's L-theanine. It's an amino acid found in the leaves of green tea. It modulates calming neurotransmitters, the ones we love, serotonin, GABA. This fosters a state of calm relaxation, which then helps with the transition into restful sleep. And then, of course, there is GABA in the formula. This is a central nervous system's primary inhibitory brain messenger. It sort of turns down the mental noise so we can fall asleep faster and with less effort. And finally, there's magnesium glycinate. It's an easily absorbed, bioavailable form of magnesium. It virtually has no side effects like loose stools or diarrhea, as compared to other forms like magnesium oxide and carbonate. Magnesium, as we know, helps relax muscles. It regulates the release of melatonin and also increases levels of GABA. This all improves sleep onset and supports the body's natural sleep patterns. So for ACF PM immune and sleep support, we're talking about a serving size of 2 tablespoons or 30 mLs, delivers 16 servings per BPA-free recyclable bottle. It's non-GMO, vegan-safe, 0 sugar, cholesterol-free, and a taste profile of carrot and other natural flavors. Wholesale price is $19.49. SRP is $32.49. The extra strength ACF PM immune and sleep support plus melatonin formula, that builds on the strengths of the ACF PM that I was just describing. Plus, in addition, it has additional immune supportive ingredients and melatonin. So for immune support, it has golden seal root, which contains alkaloids and flavonoids, all of which support the body's natural defenses against external invaders. It's also beneficial for the mucous membranes of the respiratory and digestive tracts. There is marshmallow, long used in herbal medicine and valued for its ability to provide soothing support for mucous membranes. Its sticky, gelatinous, water-soluble nature, kind of like when you put psyllium fiber into water, that sort of stuff. This provides a protective coating for the mucous membranes and a physical barrier against outside invaders or irritants. There's also olive leaf. There are several in vitro, meaning lab studies, and a few in vivo, meaning human studies, on the antioxidant properties of olive leaf. Traditionally, it's been used in Mediterranean cultures for its health-enhancing outcomes, including modulating the immune system and bolstering the body's natural defenses. Then there's one of my favorites, Andrographis paniculata, highly revered in Ayurveda and traditional Chinese medicines for its naturally occurring health-promoting antioxidant compounds they're called andrographolides. In an open-label study that was published in August 2021 in the Journal of Ayurveda and Integrative Medicine, by the way, open label just meaning it's a clinical study that both the participants and researchers were aware of what treatment was being administered. So they found that andro helped foster the growth of certain immune cells and also modulated cytokine production. We also include an herb that's native to the Amazon forest. It's cat's claw root extract. It contains alkaloids, tannins, flavonoids, all of which are associated with immune modulating properties. It also helps to maintain healthy levels of certain immune cells, including white blood cells. Then there's horseradish root, the concentrated root, not the condiment. Its uses date back to the Egyptians and early Greeks. Traditionally, it was used for easing respiratory discomfort by helping to break down, liquefy, and clear mucus from the airways. So the extra strength ACF PM has the same sleep restorative blend as the ACF PM that we talked about earlier, with one additional ingredient, melatonin. Melatonin's role is to signal our body to prepare for sleep when it gets dark outside. Now, when we're young, we produce lots of it, but levels begin to decline after the age of 40. This can lead to sleep disturbances, which in turn negatively impact immune performance. Melatonin also seems to have a positive effect on the HPA axis that we talked about earlier. So the serving size for extra strength ACF PM is 2 tablespoons or 30 ml. It delivers 16 servings per BPA-free recyclable bottle. It's non-GMO, vegan safe, 0 sugar, cholesterol-free with a taste profile of carrot and other natural flavors. Wholesale, $20.39, SRP, $33.99. So as a recap, the ACF PM Immune and Sleep Support, it's a liquid nighttime supplement designed to both mount a powerful and effective immune response at the first sign of an immune challenge, but also to support restful and restorative sleep so that the immune system carries less of a burden and performs better. Extra Strength ACF PM Immune and Sleep Support plus Melatonin, well, that's designed to supercharge the body's defenses and mount the fastest and strongest immune response at the first sign of an immune challenge. This dual-action formula includes melatonin for additional sleep and relaxation benefits. So one last thing I wanted to share with you about these 2 amazing formulations. All of our liquid dietary supplements from Buried Treasure follow DSHEA-compliant language. It's really important, which means that any benefits, whether directly expressed or implied, need to avoid the words diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or medical condition. So in the case of our acute care formulas, the ACF PM and the Extra Strength ACF PM, instead of saying antiviral or antibacterial, those are drug claims, you can say supports and maintains the body's immune defenses. Instead of saying anti-inflammatory, FDA considers inflammation a disease, you can say supports a healthy inflammatory response. Instead of saying treats or prevents a cold or flu, those are illnesses, you can say supports and maintains healthy immune during seasonal immune challenges. And instead of saying treats insomnia, that's a disorder, you can say supports relaxation and healthy sleep cycles. So now let's turn our attention to Lymphatic Harmony. It is a new addition to Buried Treasure's family of wellness drops products designed to support healthy circulation, lymphatic flow, and healthy immune function. So what is the lymphatic system? Well, actually, the lymphatic system is part of the immune system, and though it doesn't contain a pump, it is complementary to our circulatory system. Some key functions of the lymphatic system include producing and releasing lymphocytes. That's a type of white blood cell that defends against infections. 2, it helps keep body fluids in balance. It does so by collecting excess fluid from certain body tissues and returning it back to the bloodstream for excretion. 3, it's needed for the absorption and transport of dietary fats. These would include triglycerides and also nutrients like fat-soluble vitamin A, vitamin D, vitamin E, and vitamin K. And lastly, it helps transport waste products, germs, and damaged cells away from body tissues. Key components of the lymphatic system include a large network of lymphatic vessels. If you can imagine, these are like highways in the body for substances to travel from one destination to another. There's also lymphatic organs and tissues. These would include the spleen, thymus, and lymph nodes. Think of these as toll booths or checkpoints along those routes. And then there's lymph itself. It's a mostly clear, watery fluid that moves through this network, this highway of vessels, transporting and delivering substances, again, from one part of the body to another. You can imagine that as being an Uber driver, picking up passengers in one spot and then dropping them off at another. Like any other body system, it can run into trouble, where the system just doesn't work properly because it's overburdened. Too many toxins, not enough ability to clear those toxins, and so some of those symptoms would include things like unexplained chronic fatigue. 2, swelling and or accumulation of fluid throughout the extremities. That's the arms and the legs, and also in the lymph nodes. 3, recurring or worsening allergy symptoms. 4, impaired immune function. Now, we can do a lot to keep the lymphatic system running smoothly. One of them is to minimize our exposure to chemicals, both in the environment around us and also in the diet that we consume. We can stay hydrated so that lymph can move easily, preferably drinking clean water, but organic herbal teas are a good second choice. Getting physical. Physical movement, things like walking, stretching, weight training, even rebounding on those personal trampolines, these open up those lymphatic highways and checkpoints, and so that lymph material can move easily. And then finally, you can also consider specific botanicals for support. One option, Lymphatic Harmony, with its targeted ingredients for lymph support. These include elderberry, a 10-to-1 extract, in fact. Elderberry contains polyphenol-rich antioxidants, which possess immune-supporting properties. They also help to maintain a healthy stress response. There is burdock root, a powerful liver and kidney tonic, supports fluid balance and natural elimination of toxins. There's organic ginger, which promotes healthy circulation and removal of toxins. And then there's astragalus, one of my favorites, used in traditional Chinese medicine for immune function, but also for spleen health and for fluid balance. There's cleavers. This is an edible plant that's part of the coffee family. It supports natural lymphatic drainage and also movement of that lymphatic fluid. And then there's echinacea, which supports white blood cell activity, activating the body's natural immune defenses. So the nuts and bolts of it is that Lymphatic Harmony is designed to support lymphatic flow, healthy immune function, and also improve circulation. Who's it for? Anyone looking to support fluid balance and immune wellness. How should it be taken? Well, it's real easy. 2 mLs daily, or 2 dropperfuls daily in water. You can put it into juice if you want to, or make it into hot tea. And can it be used with other immune supportive products? The answer is yes. It complements any and all immune supplements. You can take it with or without food, so it's easy to incorporate into any daily routine. It delivers 30 servings per 2-ounce BPA-free recyclable bottle, non-GMO, vegan-safe, cholesterol-free, pleasant tasting actually, and the wholesale is $19.79, SRP is $32.99. So that is all for now. Appreciate your time today. Hope you learned something. And you can learn more actually on these and other formulations on our website. Just go to buriedtreasureln.com.